So here's how to add a physics rig to your Gorilla Tech fangame. So yeah, we're gonna start from scratch, and so no Gorilla rig as you can see, only the random physics script I made. And yes, I'm gonna change the name because you know random physics probably ain't that good. But yeah, all you do when you import all XR stuff, you just go into XR and XR Origin VR. Then you can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna keep mine as XR Origin. These you can keep if you want. You can make an empty object for this, or you can just do a XR interaction manager on here. But yeah, that's kind of your choice. Then under it you have camera offset. These are gonna be important because yeah yeah, they're gonna make sure the camera will follow and stuff. But when you import it, XR, you actually go into preset manager, where it says XRI default right controller. You type in right all lowercase, and with left it says left. You just put in all, and then you go onto your controllers, where it says action base. You just press on these buttons. Then you type in left because it's the left controller. Double tap, and boom, you have the preset. And on the right controller, you do the same, but it's for the right. And then you can just minus that. You can click both of these by holding down control. Then you remove the XR array, and then you remove the XR interactive line visual, and line render, and sorting group. And when you've done that, that's the basic start. When you're done with the basic start, you can go on to your XR origin, create an empty game object called physics hands. Under them, you just create another empty game object called right physics hand, and then you add a configurable joint to it. When you've done that, you go on up to the rigid body to auto edit, and where it says discrete, you change to continuous dynamic. And then we'll set this one up a bit later. So yeah, now we'll set up the colliders and stuff. On the camera offset, you add a rigid body. You'll put it to continuous dynamic and interpol it, and go on to constraints, freeze off the rotation. The mass, I usually put it to 3, but you can you can customize it however you want. Then you add the random physics, but it's gonna be named something else when I send it to you guys. Where it says R hand and left hand, you just drag in left controller and right controller. Where it says spring and damper, that's just a not random, but settings you can adjust, so it'll adjust on all configurable joints, so you don't have to do it manually. But that's gonna make it the more of this, the more pushy it's gonna be. Damper's just gonna dampen the spring effects. And the default mass scale is gonna make so it isn't bouncy. So if you make this high, it won't be bouncy. And this is just for checking. So if there's if your hands aren't touching anything, they won't make you go flying when you fly them in the air. So that's just gonna be at 0. And then you can turn on gizmos. And then as you can see, you have a green circle right here. They'll follow each of your controllers when you assigned it. You can set these up how you want to. I recommend 0.25 if you're gonna test, but the very best you should do is 0.09, because then they're just slightly bigger than your controllers, and yeah, you can move on ground however you want. And the ground layer is just gonna be all the layers you can collide with in your game. I'll just put that to default because I don't have any else. Then up here, the layer, you just go in, add layer. You can make one called physics player, or just player, or I don't know, buddy. And when you've done that, you go into edit, project settings, go to physics settings. It may not look like this, but I'm in Unity 6, so I just have to press that one. And where it says body here, you just go over until it hits body again over here. You just uncheck so body can't collide with itself. And when you've done that, you just go to your XR origin, press on here and add body layer, and yes, change children. Then it'll automatically change all of it. And yeah, when you've done that, it should be this script should be set up. Except those will be later still. So yeah. Now we'll set up the configurable joints. On the right hand physics hand, you just drag in camera offset as the rigid body. I mean, you can rename it Gorilla Player if that's what you want, so it's easier to understand. I'm just gonna keep mine as camera offset. But yeah, when done that, right where it says right hand physics hand, you just go down here where it says X drive. Just click that. Position string 5000 and position damper 50, and just do that for all these axes. I'll just be copying them. And then where it says X and Y and Z, just press slurp. Where it says slurp drive, you just put in 5050. And then, yeah, then you just press swap bodies. Put this to 6.5. And everything should be set up when you press swap bodies and stuff. Then just copy it with Control D. And, or just Control C, Control V. Then you can rename it left hand. And yeah, now it's the left hand. And then you double click on both. You can just click on these so they aren't in the big. Now when you click on both these, you add a sphere collider or whatever collider you want. And you put it to your normal controller's collider thing. So 0.06 I'll put mine at. And make sure they aren't this trigger. But if you wanted to work with this trigger, just put on another one and make that is trigger. And make it the same size. Like that. And yeah, that works the same. If you want to add the hand tags and stuff, you can just add them here. Hand tag. Just add them on the physics thingy. And yeah, when you've done that, your configurable joints should be set up. Then just go back on the camera offset. Drag in right hand physics to joint R and left hand physics to joint L. And after you've done that, you go on your main camera. Then you add a sphere collider. And then you put it to 0.15, so it's like that. And no is trigger, so it works. Then under it, you just make a new 3D object capsule. Just press hide mesh render by toggling this off. Then you put it to 0.15 and 0.5, and then you just put to minus 0.24, so it's lower. And here you just put minus 0.06. And yeah, then it should be like this. I mean, you can customize if you want to radius to be like smaller or something. But yeah, this is exactly like the Gorilla player. So yeah, when you're done that, it should look like this if you press on main camera. After that, that's basically it. And make sure it isn't trigger. Then you got your fully working thing. And if you want it to work with your networking, this can work with Mirror VR or just normal VR, like Photon VR. You just go on your Photon VR manager, and where it says left hand and right hand, don't drag in your controllers. Drag in the physics hands, because then they're networked correctly. And yeah, there's gonna be a physics grab script I'm quickly gonna make, and then we'll be back in the tutorial. One thing I forgot to say is on the camera offset, where it's the y-axis, it'll probably start up here. Just put that to 0. And now I coded the physics grab script. You just go on your left and right hand, and you add the physics grab script. Then where it says 0.9, I'm of course gonna make so there's text showing what does what. But grab radius is the radius you can grab. I would recommend putting above this. I'm just gonna put it at 0.09, which is default value. Then the grabbable layer is the layer for the grabbable object. I'm just gonna make a new one called grabbable. And yeah, just go on your physics things, and then just put in grabbable. And yeah, when you've done that, that's physics grab. It requires you have XR inputs I made, because that's what the script kind of depends on. So yeah, but when you've done that, it should be okay. If you got an offline rig, put the targets to these so it looks right. But yeah, if you're gonna try grab something, make sure it has the grabbable layer and it has a rigid body. And yeah, then you'll have weighted grabbing. And if you're gonna be like Animal Company, if you have like a stick, yeah, you can lift yourself with that too. But yeah, the higher mass, the more it's gonna weight, so it's gonna be harder to move. I just recommend still putting this on continuous dynamic. But yeah, that's the whole tutorial. So yeah.